Hi guys, I'm Kurt Snedden. I have been a photographer for 20 years and have done many different types of photography: weddings, portraits, family portraits. I specialise mainly in actors' headshots, mainly because I was an actor when I first started photography and found that actors' headshots work great for me. But if you are out there, I see this a lot on social media, where people are asking, how do I start making money and get out of that racket of being stuck in a space where people aren't valuing you as a photographer and they're wanting to find the cheaper photographer, all that stuff. These days, it does take time, obviously, to build up your portfolio and your reputation, but you have two paths at the start of your photography career if you are getting serious about it. One is that you go down the road of trying to attract lots and lots of clients that pay a low amount, volume, and perceived lower quality, and which is not a good idea, but this is where a lot of photographers go because they think that's the best way to do it, and kind of try and barter on price and compete on price. And then there's a style of photography where you try to do a solid amount of people, amount of shoots, and charge a higher price. But then what happens with this model is that you are making enough money for the time you spend. And what happens if you're over here trying to do a bunch of shoots and offer free deals and all that stuff and giving away all the images is the important part. When you do that, you are also building up the reputation that that's what you do. I see this all the time where photographers are crying out going, how do I get out of this space where everyone just wants to argue on price and all that stuff? It's because you're over here and not over here. Let me explain the structure of those, and it will help, hopefully. This one over here is when you are doing something. I give you all the images retouched. If you say that, I'll give you all the images edited and stuff for $100, $200, $300, whatever the price is. It doesn't really matter. When you do it that way, some shoots you might find will be good. You'll be able to do them and not have to spend a lot of time editing them because the people are good looking, whatever. But then you'll come across a person that needs a bit of work, has one eye smaller than the other. There's all sorts of reasons why people need work in retouching, right? And if you have told them you're going to give them every single image and there's something like that to figure out, it's trouble, man. It's just you're hours and hours and hours in retouching or trying to figure out how to do that stuff. And look, the other problem with that model is that you're not allowing people to spend additional money with you. That's a really important point that I want to get across to you just in this short video. So when I was starting, and when I've never been a rich person, I've made a lot of money with photography, but I've never been a rich person, and I always kind of worry about money. Maybe you're the same and you've struggled with your family budgets and all that stuff. So when I was starting, I felt, I can't charge X amount for someone. People can't afford that. That's the biggest problem that I had, and probably you have as well, where you go, I don't want to charge people too much because they can't afford it. Let them decide what they can afford, okay? If you make that switch in your brain, that's the first part of this. Second part is allow them to purchase what they want. So when you go into a store, in the grocery store, right? Quite often, today even, I went to the grocery store and I wanted to go in and buy some lunch stuff, so my bread and my tomatoes, and of course I go in there and I decide, I look at this and I go, I want some chips, I want some gum, whatever it is, I'll grab a beer. And I ended up spending more. Now, do I feel bad about that? Not really. I got more things that I wanted to. I'm my own person. I can make my own decisions about what I want to spend. But I don't hold it against the grocery store for doing that. And certainly we're talking about a grocery store that didn't even really treat me well. If one of your clients comes to you and you treat them with a wonderful experience and then just open up the door and say, what would you like to buy? They have the ability to make their own darn decisions on what they want to buy from you. So that mental shift is the first thing to get across, which will take you away from just, I'll just give them all the images and work on all the images for an X amount, and over into this space where you say, I do a shoot, and either the shoot includes a number of images. For my actors' headshots, I do a shoot, it's $800, and it includes 4 images. And then for actors, usually great. Some people are happy with 4, but most of the time, people go, oh, I love these extra images, I'll pay extra $75 per extra image. So I make generally sometimes just as much money in extra image orders as I do in the $800 or so. Again, don't be scared of the numbers. It's whatever it is, whether you charge $200 for the shoot, whatever it is, $150, whatever it is, just cap the amount of images that you provide and then offer the price for additional images. And then watch people, number one, respect you more. Number two, value the images that you give them more, because my clients, every single photo that I've ever delivered to a client has been properly retouched by me or one of my staff members, and every single image that's out there in the world is valued in that way. So when a client comes in and pays me $800 and gets 4 images, they value those 4 images because those were the best out of the shoot and they were professionally retouched and they are absolutely beautiful. Now that client really, like I said, they value what those 4 images are. If you give that same client all the images with somewhat good retouching, maybe it's not, and also maybe they are looking at the whole shoot going, some are better than others, their overall opinion of you is lower, right? People think, I'll give more value by giving more images, but it's actually the opposite. Their opinion of you becomes lower when they have all these images and not much to do with them, or some of them they have to go and either retouch them themselves, or all that stuff is what you get from being over in this space. I want to go on and on. I want to make this a relatively quick video, but hopefully if you can work towards that idea of allowing people the respect and the ability to make their own darn minds about what they want to spend with you. My biggest sale for a family shoot in that way, because we were doing prints and wall portraits and things like that, one client just decided one day to spend $7,200 on a bunch of different wall portraits for their kids, one big one for the wall or whatever. It blew my mind. There's no way I personally, in my family, would spend that money on a photo shoot. But if you just say, here's my products, what would you like to choose? Would you like this? Would you like that? Again, it's not even, would you like fries with that? It's just, what would you like? I don't have to sell this stuff because the images are there, and you have to be a good photographer first, and obviously that's a skill to build up. But the images are there, you love them, what do you want to do with them? Whether it's selling the digitals, it doesn't, you can get into all sorts of arguments about what's better and whatever. I sell a lot of digitals these days. Have been through that space where we do work and stuff for the walls, but if a client can spend $7,200 with you for one family shoot and love us, because they do, that person that spent that money, I didn't force them to spend that money, they decided to spend that money and they love us for it. They loved what we brought to them and gave to them and created for them. They valued us with their hard-earned money. That's a real basic kind of flip of the brain that I just want you guys to do out there if you are trying to figure out how to make money in photography and how to build a business that is sustainable and that makes real decent money, so that you're not just working all the time, retouching and processing all these images that are just going to sit on a hard drive or whatever for pittance, okay? Yeah, hopefully this has helped you figure out some stuff, and if you wanted to come over to Humble Togs, check out Humble Togs Club. It's a community for photographers that I'm running, that I'm building up for photographers who aren't dicks to each other. The main thing over there is that we are all there to help each other grow, and we have photographers of all different levels, people that have been more experienced than me, as well as complete newbies that are just starting out. Go check out humbletogsclub.com for more information there, and talk to you soon. I wish you well.